I'm going to move on to our first formal panel, and I'm going to invite an Ardmhéara Bhaile Cliath, Críona Dhálaigh, to the stage. The Vice Mayor of San Jose, Rose Herrera, the Mayor of Liverpool, Joseph Anderson, and all the way from Guadalajara, and by the way, they brought the sunshine. It didn't come from the States, didn't come from Ireland. The Mayor of Guadalajara, Enrique Alfaro. The Mayor of Guadalajara will be joined by his interpreter, who will interpret for him. This process will involve 4 minutes, and I'm going to be absolutely ruthless. It's the only time I can be ruthless with politicians, particularly with my boss. I'm going to be ruthless around the 4 minutes, and then we're going to engage in a conversation and try and pull in some audience participation. Okay? We have a deadline because the President is arriving at 10:30, and I'm going to invite, first of all, Ardmhéara Bhaile Cliath, Críona Dhálaigh. You can speak from there or the stand.
Okay. Firstly, I believe the power of people working together to make the world a better place. I am at heart a community activist. For me, while economy and jobs are really important, the quality of life that we create for our citizens living in our cities is just as important. People matter. You can grow your economy and have a fairer society, in my opinion. In Irish, we say, "Ar ska chéile war nadini," which means we live in each other's shadow. So the issues that matter to me are social inclusion, social justice, and equality. These are issues that every city and every country faces. So what can we do about these issues, and how can we help one another to address these issues? The power of cities in different countries across the world working together is, to me, obvious. Firstly, we can learn from one another. On Wednesday, for example, councillors and NGOs from Dublin learned a great deal from the Mayor of Guadalajara, Mayor Alfaro, about how they are trying to improve citizen participation in decision-making in Guadalajara. We learn by exchange, and we learn through visiting one another. Mayor Alfaro visited many places while he was here, including the DigiHub, the Web Summit, Intel, and those visits were extremely important. But it was also important to me that he visited areas of regeneration, so he could speak to the citizens in an area of Dublin called Bhaile, who had undergone a regeneration process. But that regeneration was different because the community there were empowered to become one of the most important stakeholders in not just the physical regeneration, but the social regeneration of that area. Secondly, we need to turn the learning into action by agreeing on concrete projects and actions across the different issues that we are addressing. This means we have to build on relationships with one another that is not short-term but is long-term, that is not sporadic but is constant. For that, we need formal agreements, time-defined terms of actions and outcomes. The value of links between cities is that we learn from one another, and we develop projects that provide opportunities for our citizens. These could include educational access, experience, especially for people from disadvantaged communities. These could include exchange of solutions to the housing challenge. I mean, as you know, we are facing a huge housing crisis here in Dublin City. And these should also include ways of becoming and integrating migrants. I thought it was also important that the Mayor visit areas of social regeneration, and that is why I brought him to Regeneration, where he spoke to the residents. Given the right tools and confidence, our communities can find their voice and can become empowered citizens. Most importantly, we need to develop cooperation, to involve not just city councillors and officials, but also to bring in our community leaders, organisations that address social justice, and of course business and education institutions. We work better together. We live in each other's shadow, and our world is a small and fragile place. So working together, we should make it safer, fairer, and a more inclusive place. Gurv Mila Mila Maigav.
And that's the opening statement for the Lord Mayor of Dublin on this theme, which is what is the value and what should be the focus of city-to-city linkages in today's world. And I call now on the Vice Mayor of San Jose, our sister city in California, Rose Herrera.
Well, good morning. Good morning, Lord Mayor and delegates to this wonderful conference. Ced mille falcha. And also to our wonderful representatives, the mayor from Guadalajara, Mexico, and their delegation, buenos dias and bienvenidos. And I would say that they brought the weather, but also our delegation from California will claim some credit for bringing the good weather, too. And I want to acknowledge our San Jose delegation, because as was already said, we're celebrating also a 30-year sister city relationship between Dublin and San Jose. And also my two I bring with me my two colleagues from the San Jose City Council, Magdalena Carrasco and Raul Perales. They're also here. And I'm proud to represent, on behalf of Mayor Liccardo, represent the city of San Jose, 10th largest city in the United States with over 1 million people and the capital of Silicon Valley. You know, cities are really where the action is. I mean, all of the mayors that are here and representatives from cities around the United States and Ireland, we are the ones that have to deal with where the rubber meets the road, where the real problems have to be solved. The buck can't be passed. We have to make sure that we have adequate housing, we have adequate transportation, we have jobs. Our residents know where we live, so we need to make sure we have to have those answers. In today and tomorrow's independent and interdependent world, the trend in international relations will increasingly revolve in an accelerating pace to sub-national entities of states, regions, provinces, counties, and municipalities. All of these cities are the future. Cities are the incubators of innovation and social evolution. And as a result, city-to-city relations are and will continue to take on an ever-increasing prominence in global dialogue, commerce, and community building. When cities connect with cities, we learn from each other. We open doors of access for our twinned communities. We collaborate with each other. We innovate with each other. For San Jose and Dublin, our 30 years have yielded tangible results across the community spectrum, but in particular in economic development, scholarship, and job creation, environmental and transportation improvements, library resources, the arts and culture, and sports. For the city of San Jose, in order to invest in this relationship, which is very precious, we need to be able to show what tangible things have been accomplished. And ever since Tom McHenry back in 1986, our former mayor, began this relationship and brought forward Intel, which is, of course, a readily recognized name and has had an incredible history here, beginning with Gordon Moore, and then, of course, the great Craig Barrett, who has incredible history with Ireland, was able to forge an incredible relationship with one Silicon Valley company after another. Ireland has definitely been a great way, a wonderful way for our companies to work with a global economy of Europe. 2 generations of Silicon Valley high-tech and social media companies have accessed the high-quality Irish engineers for our R&D departments, while Dublin and Ireland have seen many of these companies set up their European headquarters here. This also provides engineering talent to Silicon Valley, and we see companies from Ireland setting up shop in Silicon Valley and certainly benefiting from that. The Internet of Things, which we were previewed in 2013 here in Dublin, is a reality in San Jose now, and we have Irish innovators along with our innovators coming up with ideas that will help take technology and move it towards solving some of our most difficult problems. From our shared plastic bag policy, we certainly gained the words for that ordinance from the Dublin Ordinance, and we were able to enact that in San Jose to ban the use of single plastic bags, which has kept our environment cleaner, kept that kind of debris out of our creeks, to sewage processing improvements. Not a very sexy concept, but sewage processing is very important, and Ireland has benefited from San Jose's way of doing that. To climate change strategy and to zero efficient building policy and planning, as well as our bike lanes. San Jose and Dublin have benefited from the municipal government collaboration. Our main libraries are twinned, our theaters are twinned, and exchanged performances. Our ballet has toured Ireland, and Dublin's Youth Symphony has visited San Jose, among many cultural activities over the year. In fact, this week, we will be discussing a unique Knight Foundation Parks Improvement and Arts project, as well as bringing a San Jose stage company play to Ireland during the centennial. Finally, we also believe in sports diplomacy and have had many different exchanges over the years. We all look forward to the game on Sunday to see whether Kerry indeed will have something else to say in that game. But I have to tell you, when we visited back in 2013, and I was privileged to be part of that delegation, I was very impressed with Croke Park, not only for its beauty, but the fact that it is an amateur sports organization. And it promotes the ability for all to participate, including girls and women. And so we have women out on the field doing women's football, as well as Komaji. Did I say it right? Probably. Wonderful. We even got to try it. We were not good at it, I have to tell you. But that was very impressive to me, the fact that Ireland promotes this. The most memorable and popular sporting event over the years that we exchanged were the young Dublin boxer team, who met our East San Jose Latino team during our 20th anniversary celebration. So I'm really honored to be here on this first of its kind conference. I took a lot to bring this about. We were so honored to have the Taoiseach and the Kenny at our dinner last night. Thank you so much, Lord Mayor, Ina Críona, for all of her work. And hopefully this will happen again, and maybe we'll do it in San Jose. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rose. And of course, Ireland wouldn't be complete without Liverpool, and England wouldn't be Irish without Liverpool. And I call on our good friend, the Mayor of Liverpool, Joe Anderson.
Thank you, Peter. Lord Mayor, Lord Mayors, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honour and privilege for Liverpool to be here. If you look at the flyers and the banners, the USA and Ireland, and people may well say, Peter, despite what you said, what's Liverpool here for if it's USA and Ireland? Well, Liverpool is proud to be one of the counties of Ireland. So, always has been and always will. In some senses, Liverpool played its role as matchmaker in terms of where we were as a great port in the days when people passed through Liverpool to go on to America and parts of the world. So many people stopped in Liverpool and, of course, raised families and stayed there. And I don't think you'll find many people that haven't got an Irish connection or indeed claim to have an Irish connection. It's great to be here, as I said. I want to use two quotes from a great, in my view, politician of my generation and our generation, and that is a great Irish-American president. And I'll start with the first one, which the purpose of life is to contribute in some way to making things better. Now, everybody in this room is here because that's exactly what we believe in. The purpose of life is to make things better. The purpose of the sister cities is to actually collaborate and work together, whether it is across the board in culture and civic dealings, or whether it's in business and education and health. It is important, vitally important, that progressive politicians like ourselves in this room work for the things that we believe in, which will make a real difference, not only to our cities, but to other cities too, because that's exactly why I believe we are all here. And so when Peter read out the declaration, I'm absolutely committed and delighted to sign that declaration on behalf of Liverpool. Now, the other quote from at JFK that I often mention is conformity is the jailer of freedom and the enemy of growth. And by that, the great man meant that if you do the same old things, you get the same old results. And I think that that's exactly why core cities should continue to build relationships with each other and encourage other people to engage with us in core cities, in sister cities, because they are the core cities of the world, to actually make a difference and for us to actually collaborate, to share good practice, to share ideas, to create that connection between cultures and go from strength to strength. That's why I believe it's a fantastic idea. That's why I'm passionate about the Sister Cities relationship, and I'm delighted to be invited to this, the first Sister Cities Summit. I hope it's one of many in the future so that we can continue to cement those strong relationships and improve them relationships even more. So thank you for the warm welcome. As always, you get a great hospitality in this city. And I'm delighted to, as I say, be here because I love the country and as far as I'm concerned, it's my second home. So thank you for the invitation. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. And another city which has become a very close friend of Dublin and whom we hope will consider themselves honorary Irish because we consider ourselves honorary Mexican these days is the city of Guadalajara, the second city of Mexico, the digital capital of Mexico, and I call on the mayor of Guadalajara, Enrique Alfaro.
Thank you very much to my friend, Lord Mayor, for receiving us in this beautiful city of Dublin. I'm going to do my best with my English. I'm very proud to represent in this meeting to the second largest city of Mexico, a 5 million people city, a city in a country divided by poverty and inequity, a city in a country injured for violence, crime, and impunity, a country where citizens demand the reestablishment of the fulfillment of the law as a normal behavior of their governance. In this context, city mayors have a great responsibility: the proper operation of our cities. That sounds easy, but we know what that means. Streets in good conditions, clean and well-lighted areas, citizens who can walk about and feel safe, all depend on the work done by our teams. Also, the governments of our states or countries take care of issues that may seem far removed from common citizens. Mayors are the ones who must respond and offer tangible solutions to the everyday problems that people face. While our country's leaders participate in forums to reduce carbon emissions, for example, it is our duty to generate the proper conditions to improve the quality of life in our cities. Therefore, we design policies to replace urban trees and landscapes. We design trash collection systems to reduce the number of trips of trash trucks make, and we implement the measures to promote the city's redensification and combat of the urban expansion. As local leaders, we are much closer to the people's problems. That is why it's our job to understand what citizens want and need. As mayor, it's our duty to make the government become something where the people can participate and can feel as their own. If we learn to listen to people, we can make citizens participate in the government, and then we will be able to find better solutions to the problems affecting our cities. But we must not forget that the solutions we are promoting in our cities will remain isolated actions unless we can share our experience with other cities. This is where the importance of the relationship between cities lies, and of meetings such as this one, where mayors can build alliances that will enable us to exchange ideas as well as share resources and experience. We must use the knowledge of others to reduce our learning curve so we can save time and money when implementing our projects. However, we must not lose sight of the ultimate goals of our actions, which are the improvement of the quality of life of our citizens, the reduction of inequality and marginalization, and the creation of opportunities for the population. In this case, in our case, the relationship between our cities is geared towards the creative and technologies industries. First, because we are the Silicon Valley of Mexico, and this reality demands us being closer for learning of our sister city, San Jose. But also because in Guadalajara, the creative digital city is well on its way and will become a hub that will foster the development of local talent and enterprises. Hence the importance of coming to Dublin. In this occasion, we are here to learn from Dublin Digital Hub, an established project that has yielded positive results not only regarding digital development, but also as a fundamental social component for the involvement of Dublin as a city. If we want our creative digital city to be successful in every way, we must learn from well-established projects like this one. But we should not limit this exchange only to the city leaders. We must also use the relationship we have as government to make it easier for citizens to have their own experience. That is why we should promote student exchange programs that will allow young people to study and acquire professional experience in other cities. Let us use the creative, digital, and technology vocation we have in common to enrich the lives of our cities so that all citizens can enjoy what we have to offer, so that in our cities we won't repeat the same mistakes made by others, so we can learn from each other's success stories, but above all, to reduce the gaps of marginalization and inequality dividing our societies. Thank you very much for receiving us. Have a good day.
Here, San Francisco.
Good morning and greetings from San Francisco. My name is Jim Herrera. San Francisco and Cork are twinned since 1984. Since 1984, we've been working to establish a direct air link between San Francisco and Ireland. I'm happy to report 2 years ago, exactly 2 years ago, the inaugural flight of Aer Lingus arrived in San Francisco, and it's now 5 days a week. So my point to all of my colleagues from the United States, particularly when it comes to transportation, work on it. There are so many airlines today that are willing to do direct connections between the United States and Ireland, and it took us about 10 years to get it done, but now we're working on a link between San Francisco and Cork.
Fantastic. If I can share two thoughts. One, I'm glad to see you're in the real capital of Ireland relationship. And the second one is being partisan. You beat us. We were working to try and get that flight to San Jose. Okay, anyone else? Any views, opinions?
Hello, Kay Sargent from Lexington, Kentucky. We have already celebrated our 30th anniversary with County Kildare two years ago. I just wanted to throw in about a recent project we started with technology and Skype programs. We wanted to start with elementary students to get them on board with Sister Cities. So we now have several schools that are doing Skype programs with each other, and it's been working very well.
Fantastic. Thank you.